B, I need you to prepare yourself.
What, are we having like a proctology exam or something? If I gotta like take special medicine and prepare myself. It's an episode of Tortured Bourbon.
No, it's not quite that bad. So
God, I hope not. Why would someone want to watch that?
No one would.
But you know, people watch people popping zits.
People? Some people?
Some people.
Some people.
Some people.
How do you know that? How do you know those videos are out there?
They show up on my feed. It's weird.
Me too, weirdly. You know, that algorithm's a crazy thing.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
Wish
Anyway.
this should show up on a couple of algorithms.
Right. So, back to the point. We all know how you feel about my entire generation. You don't exactly give us glowing praise.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of good things you can say about you.
I feel like there's a caveat here.
I mean, I can't think of any right now. I mean,
There we go.
Your music sucks. Selfies suck. Your social media thing sucks. Your entire worldview is self-centered. You have zero redeeming qualities. Most of you drink those Truly White Claw things. I don't even know what the heck that is.
Those are two different seltzers, but okay.
Why do we need two of them? Why do we need any of them?
There's also a million of them, but okay.
Why do we need any of them?
When have you seen me purposely drink a seltzer?
I bet there's pictures in your sorority days.
They weren't actually around yet.
Oh, so you're old. Cool.
I'm a millennial.
Yeah, we know.
So you know what, B, with all of that.
Look at me. Let's all take a picture of us running.
Yet I have so many selfies with this one at concerts. So, you know.
Who took it? Who took it?
Just like a Gen X, they want to participate in our trends, but then they want to complain about them. So, B,
anything.
with all, they just want to complain.
You landed that plane, babe. Good job.
So, B, with all that in mind, if you want to drink bourbon today, which I think you do, considering you just drank some, you're going to have to hear some millennial praise. It's going to hurt.
Why exactly do I have to hear millennial praise?
Because you're half of this show, are going to do a deep dive into 2XO, led by Dixon Dedman.
Is that his real name?
If it's not, it's amazing.
That's definitely made up.
It's a really cool name. He is a rockstar millennial with a very cool brand.
Well, if you're going to get me 2XO and I get to drink it, I'm willing to be neutral towards your people for the next 45 minutes or so.
Gee, B, my entire generation thanks you for your generosity.
You're welcome, genuinely. What's up, Heather?
What's up, B?
Welcome back to another episode of Tortured Bourbon. We, as in the two of us and our lovely and talented Katie, are so glad you're here, whether it's your first time or you actually came back here on purpose. And if you need to, we have links in there for therapists to talk to you about that. But being you are here and being this is a really fun place to hang out in our corner or sub-corner or sect of a corner or subsect of a sect of a corner.
They got it.
Yeah.
They got it.
In the YouTube bourbon-ish world, just subscribe, hit like, notification bell, do all that stuff. We do 3. The German 3, see? The German 3. That's
German
6.
3.
That's the German 6. The German 3, or the American 3, episodes a week because Heather doesn't like me to get any sleep.
No, never. It's all me. It's
It
definitely all me. Don't forget to follow us on our social medias, too. Facebook, Instagram, and X.
Most important thing ever.
So important. It really is. The links are in our description below. You can also send us an email, send us a message, or leave a comment. We love hearing your episode suggestions and your feedback. I really do love engaging with y'all.
That might be the understatement of the year.
Well, I think that you should be thankful that at least one of us is approachable.
I'm very approachable.
To who?
We're friends.
Exactly.
See, I'm approachable.
You have to be your friend. I'm just kidding. He's very approachable, especially on social media and online. Anyway, today is all about a fellow millennial and his killer bourbon brand, 2XO. I can't even fit it all into one episode, so it's going to be another two-parter.
Well, I guess we know who wrote this. I have so much mixed feelings about this right now. I'm going to focus on the part where I get to drink bourbon.
I am confident that you're going to be just fine. So, getting to the point of this show, bourbon. I am excited to profile 2XO. I feel like we've seen it everywhere lately. It has its own end caps and displays in the ABC stores. Like they've made their presence known. Their bottles are really cool too. Whoever's doing their marketing is killing it.
And we know that you're a sucker for really good marketing. That's why you wear all that Lululemon stuff.
You said it correctly.
Was that how you say it?
Lululemon.
Well,
yeah.
I don't care.
You know what? I'm going to admit to that. I am a sucker for good packaging. So, to talk about 2XO, we have to start with Dixon Dedman. And his journey, even though he's only 42, 2XO is not his first rodeo.
Now listen, we mentioned in a previous episode, which I'm going to link right above this Angel's halo, that he started Kentucky Owl.
He did.
Which has since gone... Womp,
Womp, womp, womp.
Yep.
He actually did, and he was incredibly successful.
That's
there.
back when it was rocking in the free world.
His career actually started before Kentucky Owl, though. So he was blessed and highly favored by the good Lord above, apparently, and grew up on the whiskey trail.
Like, literally, like he was born on the whiskey trail. I was in a hospital. I was born in a hospital.
Are you done?
Were you born in a hospital up in the mountains, or did they just put you up on the living room, grandma up on the living room table? There you were.
I was shockingly born in a hospital.
You're one of the few. That's awesome.
Anyway.
I'm glad electricity's getting to the western side of the state.
So, Dixon Dedman grew up on the whiskey trail, learning from some of the OG bourbon legends. Then, at the same time, he has an amazing culinary legacy. So, he helped run his family business, which is the James Beard Award-winning Beaumont Inn. Do you know what the James Beard Award is?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just making sure.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dixon knows food, he knows wine, and he knows bourbon.
So you think he's perfect? Is he hot too?
I mean, you're not bad.
Is he single?
That didn't come up in my research.
Because, I can make a call for you.
I think I'm good, thank you.
All right.
He also runs marathons.
On purpose?
On purpose.
People run on purpose?
Because he can.
On purpose?
On purpose.
I run when chased.
He also has a shoe game that rivals even the biggest sneakerheads.
Well, good for him.
That was genuine, I could tell.
That's great.
He's kind of a
I got a good shoe game.
Yeah, it's alright. So he's kind of a rock star. In 2017, he sold Kentucky Owl to Stoli Group.
Good idea.
He planned to stay on, but then he wound up leaving in 2021 due to a difference in vision, which is a very nice way of saying it.
He didn't want to build a pyramid in Kentucky?
Apparently not.
I'm guessing Stoli didn't be like, Dee Dee, you hang here and just make the money, and then we'll leave you alone like they do Jimmy Russell over at Campari.
I don't believe that happened.
Isn't that how it rolled?
D squared, they got up in his business.
That's what I call him. When he and I hang, he's D squared.
He's D squared, yeah. So you are correct there. They kind of got all up in his business and his creative game, and he said, I'm out. So he wanted to keep his next project grounded. That's a very millennial thing to say. He felt like the bigger you get, the more you focus just on the number of cases and sheer production, and the less on things that are genuine.
So how long after he left Kentucky Owl before he started 2XO?
So he had to have some people that believed in him, and or he had money to hang his hat on, because 2XO actually launched in November of 2022, so not long at all after he left Kentucky Owl. And their first product, which they launched in Louisville, Kentucky, is the Phoenix Blend.
I mean, that is appropriately named.
Oh.
I mean, that is phenomenal.
It's dead on.
Yeah.
Dedman was dead on.
D squared.
He rose from the ashes.
D squared.
Killing it. So blending is actually...
Staying grounded.
Blending is actually...
On the X's.
Are you done now?
Nope.
Blending is Dedman's thing. He rebarrels his hand-selected aged whiskey into new charred oak barrels. 2XO actually means 2 times oak.
That's kind of cool.
I think so.
I like that.
Yeah.
So the extra oak exposure, that should give us a little sweeter, little mellow out the rye type thing.
Exactly.
All right, cool.
Good job, B.
I know, I've been around.
And B, I saved the best for last. This is going to be your favorite part from the website. So per 2XO, Dedman's vision is to shift away from the overplayed, nostalgic American whiskey storyline and create an innovative brand backed by the incredible liquid in the bottle.
Oh, D squared and I must have something in
There
common.
you
I mean, I
go.
respect it because you know what? It didn't mention like that we took one of Abraham Lincoln's eyelashes and dropped it into every barrel that was magically not burned
Right.
by a pastor who set fire to his warehouse on the same place that George Washington crossed the Delaware with a special bottle of rye, and now we drink it.
Precisely.
Yep.
That's what Dixon was like. We're done with that.
No kidding. I'm done with it too.
If you put good stuff in the bottle, people will buy it.
And just say, this is good bourbon.
Hey, this is bourbon. Here's what we put in it.
Yeah.
Like it or you don't.
Yeah.
So 2XO consists of 3 separate offerings for now. I'm sure there's going to be more as time goes on. So first there's the Oak series, which is kind of their everyday blends. Then there's the Icon series, which are limited time small batch blends. Again, small batch can mean a wide variety of
I've been referred
numerical
to
values.
as Icon before.
By who? Third is Jim of Kentucky, and that is their series of single barrel releases.
Yeah, I would think that the term Jim
means
that would
it's,
mean, it's a big
pretty
deal.
amazing.
All right, so
Today, we're going to start with the Oak series, and we're going to work our way through some samples from each of the series, and we're going to finish up with Jim of Kentucky in part 2.
And to be fair, we will not do all this background information in episode 2.
No.
We'll go more straight to let's just make fun of each other and drink bourbon. So we're going to start with the American Oak. It comes in at 92 proof and it's priced around $45, which is starting to become more of the price point for your better than average bourbon.
45 is the new 25.
I mean, we all wish it was less. I mean, we're not going to, it doesn't matter what generation you're from, you'd rather pay $20 less. But
Yeah.
It is what it is. Now, we don't know the exact mash bill. Why? Because they don't tell us. But the rye content is rumored to be around 18%. So, not overly rye.
But they consider it high rye, which is interesting.
Now, it's noted to be very approachable and good for cocktails. Because that's what I'm worried about. Whether or not we can drink a cocktail with it.
We know, B. So on the nose, we should get some caramel and toffee. So let's see if we do.
That would be a positive, Ghost Ranger. I'm getting caramel and toffee.
That's positive Ghost Rider?
No, that'd be negative Ghost Rider. The pattern is full. So I said positive Ghost Ranger.
Definitely caramel. There's something else.
Bourbon?
Almost a little bit of a smoky smell. I wonder if that's from the double oak with extra, you're gonna spend the extra time in some char.
It could be.
Maybe. So what should we get on the palate?
On the palate, it starts with sweet, rich butterscotch, which is up on the front. And then we're supposed to go to savory, roasted, nutty notes, so I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
And in the middle, in the finish, it should be a mild spice. So let's see what we get.
There's definitely that spice at the end.
It's not overwhelming. That's just enough to let you know you're drinking bourbon.
There's the vanilla.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It's not overly sweet, though.
Nope.
I see why they say it's good in cocktails. Because it's going to hold up just enough without overwhelming. It's good. It's different.
I think so. My starter was Buffalo Trace. I prefer the finish on the 2XO to the Buffalo Trace.
Okay. For what reason?
If anyone wants to sponsor us with WD-40,
I know.
there's a little more spice on the back end.
And there's a little more nuttiness, too.
Yeah. Now, I do think that Buffalo Trace might be a little sweeter on the tongue.
I agree with that.
And I'm just trying to give people a reference point. I'm not trying to. It just happens to be what the
This isn't a
bottle
compare
is.
Buffalo
Yeah.
Trace to 2XO.
But when I tasted them, I'm like, there's some similarities there. But immediately I said, I like the 2XO better.
I think it's a little spicier.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah. I'm going to save some because I know what's up next. And I want to be able to compare them.
But so we don't want to rank it then.
No, I want you to wait to rank it until you try the second one in the Oak series.
That's fair. So are there 2 in the Oak series? Okay. All right.
So while the first was American Oak, next up we have the French Oak. So if you want to switch the bottles, my good pal.
I'm happy to.
Thank you.
So if it's French Oak, it does a can and it like cycling.
So they distill it in Moulin Rouge.
Man, oh wow, I'm gonna love this.
And then it sends it to French cafe in the morning and has an espresso and a croissant.
It's probably
then
frustrated.
It smokes a lot of cigarettes.
And then it writes an amazing love story and throws it into the...
And talks about how awful Americans are.
Yeah, and throws it right into...
the sun.
Yeah,
the same.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Because nothing I will do ever be good. Ha.
That's exactly it.
And then it has a nice Cabernet with its cheese at dinner. I love France.
France is great. Anyway, so this is the French oak.
If we could stereotype any more in that 12 seconds, let us know.
Yes, we have this lovely French oak, which, to tell you the difference, first one was aged in American oak barrels, or its second iteration in a barrel. This one was in French oak. B, you may not remember, but we have done this comparison before.
I remember doing the comparison. I don't remember the...
It was very early on.
Very.
We were at Hoppy Endings, and Aaron very kindly did a nice little taste test between the two for us, and we compared aging in American oak versus aging in French oak. Since that was so early in our journey, I'm actually really excited to compare it now because, we've got a little more bourbon under our belt at this point.
I don't know what you're talking about.
This also comes in around $45.
The nose should give us vanilla, caramel, cherry, and rose. So the young lady from Titanic is in here.
Mm-hmm. Can smell her. Okay, so...
Leonardo DiCaprio thought she smelled good.
He was not complaining. I'd get the cherry vanilla.
All right, there's a stronger presence in the American oak.
Of what?
Now that you've said it, I can taste the cherry. I can smell the cherry coke.
Cherry vanilla?
Yeah, it's like cheerwine. I mean, we're from North Carolina. Good Lord. It's like you have to drink it.
It's getting angsty.
I mean, seriously, it's like there's like this rule that we have to eat moon pies and drink cheerwine.
What's fair?
I mean, I like moon pies and cheerwine, so it's fine.
The palate should start with caramel, roasted nuts, coffee, and cinnamon, and finish with a light peppery spice. B, I'm pretty sure you blended this one.
I mean...
That is like on point with your
D
flavor
squared,
profile.
he knocked on the phone. He called me up.
Did he?
On the Motorola flip.
He did.
And he's like, yo, G, could you come over with your KitchenAid and let's spin this bad boy?
Yo, G.
Let's spin this bad boy with your KitchenAid. And I'm like, yeah, man, we can do it.
Exactly what he said. The caramel is absolutely there.
Mm-hmm.
It's very sweet up front. And then it does come into a little spice. I'm trying to get the coffee and cinnamon in the middle.
There's cinnamon at the end with that white pepper. I mean, you can sparse that out.
So the coffee, maybe get a hint of like a bit of an espresso taste.
There's
right
a bitterness in the middle. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, it's not a mocha.
No, it's
but
not meant to be.
There's a bitterness in it. It is lovely.
And you and I have identified before, a lot of times I feel like when we see dark chocolate or espresso or coffee and tasting notes, that's what it means. It means a bitterness that either if it's a slightly sweeter bitterness, it tends to be more of a chocolate. If it's not quite as sweet, it's more of a coffee.
I do have to tell you that if you sit here and...
If you chew on it?
Well, now that it's... No, you don't have to have any more. Don't have any more. Just now kind of... There's a little espresso aftertaste in there.
A little white pepper too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is lovely, like you said.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
This is very enjoyable. I would love to sit outside on a nice spring day and sip this. I'm about to go sit on your deck right now, just by myself.
Sometimes that's the best company. So they're the same price point.
Mm-hmm. Right around $45.
Right, so I'm gonna use price point to drive my rating for these two.
That's
We're gonna
fair.
do that now.
Yeah.
So at $45, I'll pay this, and this is Hush Your Mouth.
Yes, I was gonna rank this Hush Your Mouth.
All right. I get why the American oak doesn't cost more. I think it's more of a dog will hunt for me. It's good. Now it's probably better than a dog will hunt, but at $45, I can buy that. Mm-hmm. So that's
and some
the
other
difference.
Things. I'm gonna taste and compare them really quick.
It's not bad. It just doesn't have all the presence that this does.
This is solid. To me, this is that dog your hunt. That dog will hunt. This one is Hush Your Mouth because it takes that and it levels it up with. This is gonna sound so stupid, but it's like you take the American and then you put a little French flair on it, and it kind of dances a little bit, and that's where this one's living. The last one we have for part 1.
Yeah.
What are we doing, B?
I'm looking forward to this. Now, we're shifting from the Oak to the Icon series, and we're going to start with their most current Icon offering, and this has been making the rounds.
Yeah,
It's
for
been,
sure.
At least in our ABC stores, this is one that people have been trying to pick up.
And seeing it everywhere.
And, like we mentioned earlier, Dixon Dedman, he's a sneakerhead, D squared as I like to call him, and that's what he's named his current series. And every one of his Icon series, he names after something that inspires in his life.
Right. It's either a hobby or a place or something in his life.
So
that's
we'll see
important.
Bees blend any minute now.
How did you know?
It's coming.
Ruin the surprise.
Now this does come in around $80. Now that being,
it is supposed to be rich and heavy on the mid palate with spice and pepper for a long and smooth finish. So that's the official notes off of the 2XO website. So per Breaking Bourbon, the nose on the Sneakerhead should give us strawberry, orange, charred oak, a little bit of burnt caramel, cinnamon, pepper, and a hint of mint. I know, it's all the
That's
things.
a lot.
It's a lot.
I get burnt caramel.
Okay, hold it like here and smell really lightly. That's where I get the strawberry.
You're talking to the guy that's had
17
multiple sinusitis surgery. Hold it here and see what you smell.
He's like, nothing.
Air.
I smell nothing.
Air.
You're lucky I have oxygen going through my nose. As I get closer in, I smell more of the burnt caramel and the cinnamon.
Yep.
Little pepper just from a spice standpoint. I'm not getting the mint, which is good for 2XO. But I'm intrigued by the smell. And it's cool that we could pull out... I mean, that's a lot of aroma notes for us. A lot of time we're like caramel and oak.
Yeah, it's got a pleasant smell.
It does. It is pleasant.
The tasting notes have got me pulled in, and a lot of stuff we try here, we've tried before. I've never tried Sneakerhead.
Neither of us have.
And we have almost bought this bottle
So many times.
Oh, yeah.
So many times.
But just on the fact that it's called Sneakerhead.
Well, it's cool. It's got a sneaker on the front. And
It's so millennial.
I know. It's so fun.
The palette should bring caramel, cherry, toasted oak, cinnamon, and white pepper. You're a big fan of white pepper, so you're excited about that.
Among other things.
No, but you like white pepper.
I do.
Now, the finish should have orange chocolate, which I don't
know about that.
I don't understand. White pepper, barrel char, John Wayne's bootstraps, otherwise known as
Leather.
and some lingering spice and oak.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm excited.
Me too. What are you looking at?
It's a little darker.
It
than
is a
the
little
others.
darker. You're right.
Yeah.
White pepper for sure throughout.
At the very end, poop. Poop.
There's a little cherry at the beginning. Cherry and oak is what I get a lot at the beginning.
Now, I was going to say, I can still taste the cherry on the tip of my tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some cherry.
So, I mean, we
there.
say the front, literally, it's in the front.
Yeah.
Not just the beginning, the front.
The literal front.
Yep.
Is the cherry. The oak goes throughout. And so does the white pepper spice to me. I'm not getting the orange chocolate, but to be fair, I'm maybe prejudiced against that because I hate orange chocolate.
I wouldn't have known it. I wouldn't have known that's what it is. Chew it with your tongue up into your upper palate. I'm serious. Just push it up. Keep pushing it up.
There's some orange.
Keep pushing it up. Yeah.
Now that you mention it, I still don't get chocolate covered orange, but there is some orange there. There's some citrus there.
And it's not that briny. What do you not
It's not
brine?
briny. The rind.
The rind. It's not
The rind.
riney.
It's not the bitter. It's not the bitter rind.
No. There's this
It's
sweet
true orange.
There's this sweet citrus up there, and it's different.
It's like a very ripe citrus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. That's great. I don't know what else to say.
That's better than the French oak. Well, it costs twice as much.
Well, to me, it's just, and he has it as a level up. It's just a level up.
It is a level up.
It's a level up. And that's the intent. That's why he says the oak series is your everyday, and the Icon series is step up, and he prices it that way too.
See, that's what's hard, is because we just said...
Hush your mouth.
But it was hush your mouth at $45.
Mm-hmm. And that was part of the reason it was hush your mouth.
Yeah, right? So it's okay for me to say this is Hush Your Mouth because are there other bourbons I can get for less than $80 that are this good? Probably. That's a unique taste profile.
Yeah, it is. It's a unique.
So, I mean, that's what's fun about it.
Yeah. I'm going to go with Hush Your Mouth.
I'm going to challenge you on that for a second.
Challenge away.
I remember the day we rated Baby Jane Cock of the Walk.
Yep.
And I remember the day we rated Sweet Wheat Cock of the Walk. Now, we've backed off on both of those since.
We have.
That's better than both of those, in my opinion.
It's different. It's different than both of those.
The complexity in that bottle is significantly more than Baby Jane.
You're right, and that's why we have backed off Baby Jane. In fact, the last time I ranked Baby Jane, it was Dog of Hunt.
Okay.
You're right.
Challenge you is the wrong word.
No, but you're right. It's
this
a
show's
good point.
about our journey.
It's a good point, and it's one we had to eat a little crow, that episode where we did, I think it was our first Aussie Rules episode, where producer Katie very, very wisely threw some of our past favorites in front of us.
She kicked our butt.
And, you know, I think that's when we realized that when you start early on, some things that might have been your favorite then aren't. As you develop your palate, you figure out what you like, you kind of start, as you taste more, you see, okay, this is actually what complex means, not this over here. It doesn't mean those older ones that you rated highly then are not still great bourbons and great offerings. It's just, you kind of you could put them in better context. So with that said, I would still rate this one Hush Your Mouth.
Okay.
I wouldn't put it, I'm going to reserve Cock of the Walk. I want to try some more 2XO stuff.
That's fair. If you're still watching, I think that's important, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Because your bourbon offerings are vast now. Mm-hmm. Until someone will go out of business. They're vast. So part of what we're trying to do is put it in perspective of price and availability and palate.
Right. We've gone through the Oak series. And we just kind of dipped our toe into the Icon series with the Sneakerhead.
Well, I'm impressed. I'm glad, as this is your baby, I'm glad that you went ahead and brought in Sneakerhead because it's been such a splash in our market.
Yeah, and I was excited to try it, and I thought it was a good way to kick off the Icon series. So this is kind of where they have gotten to, and we're going to kind of go back through all of their... We are only missing one Icon offering, and it's the original one, the Phoenix Blend, which I imagine is probably pretty hard to find.
I'll call D Squared up.
Give him a call. Tell him to send us a
I'm just going to text him.
And then we're going to finish with the Gym of Kentucky, which is apparently it's called Gym, so...
So on our next episode, we will... all the history,
We'll
all
give
the
you like a
background.
teeny little recap.
Yeah, so tune in next time because we're going to go much faster into the bourbon. What we like to do is we like to educate around here.
Yeah, well, I think honestly, none of this makes as much sense without the background. Like, why is this called... You would have no idea why it's called Sneakerhead. And so I think you need a little of that background to fully appreciate a
Yeah,
bourbon.
because frankly, if you told me it tastes like a sneaker, I would...
You'd be
Oh, it's good. Pour it in a Converse? That doesn't sound good. Pour it in some Chucky All-Stars? Oh my God.
Not at all. That sounds terrible, actually.
It sounds nasty.
So I think the context and the background help. Like any good history buff, context is always important. So cheers, Dixon Dedman, fellow millennial.
D Squared. I'll
Until
give you a
next
text.
time.
Look for my DM.
Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all. Disco
Disco.
and burn. Disco and burn.
Burn,
Disco,
baby, burn.
Disco and burn.
Burn, baby, burn.